Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Phantom again. We're going to be looking at how we've reacted of the levels that we were looking at yesterday, and if you need more information regarding Phantom, have a look at the video that we put out yesterday. It will help give you some more insight as to what we are looking for here on a macro scale. Okay, so let's jump into the analysis, but before we do that, first I'd like to say thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to show your support, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and why not leave us some feedback down below. Okay, so let's get into it. So there was a few ways we were looking at this, and we talked about this in more detail yesterday, and what we were looking at is a potential of a 5-wave move here, with this is a 1, this is a 2, and then looking at this whole move down into this zone as a 3. So within this move here, it is possible to count this two ways. We can potentially have this third wave. If I just move this over here, we can potentially have this third wave here, and that we're looking for some kind of a flat correction in this move. If that was the case, we could have technically completed, but I am still tracking for it to be in this location here. So if we do, however, break back down below this 1902 zone, then that would be what would be happening. And effectively, this would be an A, B, and a C into this high, and then we'd be looking to move to the downside. We will talk about that further now, but what we were looking at yesterday, um, and it was looking like the most probable option, and it could still be playing out as long as we stay above this 1902 zone, is the potential for moving to the upside. So we can see we had this little box area here targeted out yesterday, and for the most part, we've moved down into it. It is possible we could look to move deeper into this move, though uh, it is also possible that we could complete already. So we were expecting to come a little bit higher with this fifth wave, but we haven't managed to get as high as we thought we were. So this is just a truncation of this fifth wave, yeah? So now if we look at this move in this manner, we have this as a 5-wave move, and then we have this as a 5-wave move. So this could be a zigzag completed. So we've come right down here almost to this 0.618, which is this 1970 region, and now we've started to move back to the upside. So the only thing that's worrying me about this is the 4-hourly, the 1-hourly. The 4-hourly has actually come down a bit, but yeah, it is possible we could still look for some upwards progression. It depends how the volume reacts. If we get low volume on the moves down, this can allow these to correct quite quickly with very little price damage. Though, should we get bigger volume on the moves down, effectively what can happen is we can drop quicker, and these will only slowly drop in relation to the price. So we can look at this in two ways. So this could be potentially completed here. If this is completed here, what we would be expecting is not to break back below this point here of 1975. And if that's the case, what we'd be looking for is further evidence that either we are going to be looking for this third wave impulsive trigger, which would be this 0.2286. This is a typical third wave traveling location. And the alternative was looking for this 1-to-1, if this is actually just going to become a B and a C to the upside. So those are the two things we are mentioning. It is not clear though if this is completed yet, this wave 2, because we don't have a lot of structure yet to go off of. We could argue that potentially we have a 1, 2, maybe another 1, and we're going to form another 2 here, and then we would be looking for a move to the upside. So ideally, if that is the case, what we would then be looking for was this could actually be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 in a diagonal form, because you can see here that this wave came and crossed this top. So it's either a corrective structure, and we're going to look to break lower and take this low, or this could be a diagonal formation within this first wave here, and we could be looking for a move back down towards this back down towards this zone here of this 20 cents, all the way down here to this 1987 zone. That would be a typical B wave retracement, and then if that's the case, we'd be looking for that continuation to the upside. However, with the stochastic still being quite high, I am sort of more inclined to think that perhaps what we have here is this is an A. We're making a B wave here, and we're going to drop down again. So if that is to play out, what we'd be looking for is potential rejection here on the 0.618, which we can see we have moved up to, and we have started to break down a little bit. It'd be interesting to see where this settles exactly. If it does continue to the downside, we might be looking for a deeper retracement here. So this 0.618 has already pretty much been hit. The anywhere up to this 0.786 zone would be a good area, though if we move back above this high point here, this $20, 20 cents 68, then we could be looking for continuation to the upside, and this is actually already begin either within this C wave or this third wave, depending on how high it goes. Though should we look for continuation to the downside, what we'd be looking for is this is an A, a B, and a C. This could potentially be completed here, or like I said, it could look to push up a little bit more. We could look for a retracement down here, and then we have another leg to the upside, not breaking above this 20 cent 68, and then look to break down. Though we do see that there's a little bit of selling pressure coming in right now, so it is possible we could move to the downside from this point. If we do move to the downside, then the 1-to-1 area of this A wave, which is what we just measured out here with this fib, it would bring us to this 1940 zone, which also ties in quite nicely with this with the 786 retracement. So should we look to push down further, this would be a potential target area. Though if we break this 1902 zone, then it would be more probable that actually what we are doing is breaking to the downside. Okay, so basically if we do retrace down to this zone here, what we'd be then looking for is obviously this would change our target area slightly, and that would then make the 1-to-1 this 21 cent region. So if this was to become a ABC, basically like this, an A, down and a B, and up and a C, this would be a likely target, this 2109. And then furthermore, if we were looking for the impulsive structure, it would bring this typical third wave area to this 0.2221 area. And then we would be looking for basically a move down in a fourth wave and then a continuation to the upside, which would be looking to target out towards this 2305 and this 2357. Somewhere within the zone would be a typical fifth wave based off of that third wave that we've got plotted out there. So that's what we'd be looking out for. Until we break down though, we can continue to keep this here, just in case we do actually manage to hold this low here. Like I said, we could have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a diagonal within this move. And then what we'd be looking for is potentially a breakdown here and then looking to push up again and take these highs. Doing that would make me believe that, like I said, either we're in this C wave and we are looking to form something like this, 1, a 2, up in a 3, 4, and a 5. And what the target area for this would be roughly 20 cent 84 would be the ideal third wave, and then the fourth wave would come back down, and basically would be looking for a fifth wave to the upside like this. This obviously depends exactly how these waves form. If there's any kind of an extension within this, it could well push us up towards this wave 3 target, or we could just actually look to target towards this 1-to-1 zone here, which this typical fifth wave would be between this 2104 to this 2122. So this could be an area we look to target out if we are looking to progress from the upside without moving lower than this 1975. Though, like I said, it is possible we could still look to push down first and then have this push to the upside. Okay, so now that we've talked about that, let me just talk about the potential for downside here. So if I just switch this back over to the 5 waves down, if we do start to break to the downside from this point here, what we would have to assume then, and we would have to obviously wait for further confirmation, but what we would then have to assume is that actually this 3 is here. This wave 4 has been a shallow fourth wave into this high, and we are looking to move down towards this target zone here. It would slightly change this target area, and what we'd be looking at here is for the potential of moving just a little bit higher, this 1861 to the 1795. That would be the typical area would be looked to move from this zone here. So that could be an area we target out, and then we look to move back up in a bigger three-wave move. Because if we move into this zone straight away and we have a direct sell-off situation, basically what we would be looking for then is a B wave retracement, because we would have had a completed 5-wave move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If I just get rid of this for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down into these lows. What we would be looking for then is a retracement back to the upside. And what this would look like is potentially a move back up into this 2194 zone, or this 0.786 zone, which is 2428, somewhere between that zone there, which could tie in with retesting this existing trend line. So we could look to retest that. That's basically what we can. That's pretty much all we can do for the moment, to see how we react off this low point here, and then from there we can use this information to see whether we are either in this upwards move here, or we're going to just have an ABC move into this other fourth wave position. And actually our third is here, our fourth is up here. If our fourth is up here, I'd be expecting a zigzag, which this does seem to tie in with so far. And what we would be expecting for is a move up towards this 1-to-1 zone. Whether we drop down a little bit lower and that 1-to-1 drops slightly, it is still possible we look to target out this 2207, which is a 0.382 retracement of the wave 3. So that's a typical area that we could look to travel to. So that would be basically what we are looking for there. We can go over sort of this move here. So if we look at this move here, and this is to start breaking down off of the current structure, we'd have to assume that we have, because we've crossed this point here. So either we have some kind of a diagonal in this move, or we have this as a 1, 2, 1, 2 situation, and this would get confirmed by, if I just draw this on here. So invalidation of this would come by crossing back above this high point here, which would be 20 cent 40. Moving back above that would invalidate the potential for this extending to the downside and having a direct sell-off. And what we would be looking for, if that is going to happen, is from this high point here of this wave 2, what we would be looking for is a move down past this 1928 before looking for a fourth wave up and a fifth wave back to the downside. Target area for this would be roughly within this 19 cent 17 to this 1902. That would be a zone that we could look to complete this move in. Though if we do move down like that, then we would have to assume that we have an additional 1, 2, and this is a 3. We'd look for a fourth again, and we'd look to move back to the downside, which would be looking to move us towards this target area. If it plays out exactly like we have marked up here, we might not reach that zone exactly, and what we would be actually looking for is a slightly higher target. The target would be then towards this 1896 and this 1874. Though, as I say a lot, we have to be careful that there's not extensions within these waves. We can't really anticipate those until they start to happen. So this could be a zone that we end in if we just have these 5-wave moves as we've shown here. Though it is possible that we still need to move up first before looking for this drop. So that's what we're having a look at, and I hope you appreciated the video. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find an affiliate link to BYBIT. It really is a great exchange. It's the one we use when we're doing our trades, whether that's shorting, longing the market, or using leverage or spot trading. It's a great exchange to use. Also in the description, there's a link to the Discord. Why not come and join? It's free to join. So just once you're in the general chat area, just add mention member staff. We'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. Okay, that's pretty much everything. And I'd like to just say thank you everyone for watching again and have a great day. We'll see you in the next video. Take care out there.